The View, here he is on Dateline, here he is on CBS, here he is on some other talk show, here he is on The View again. And so the talk show circuit is really buying into his story. And so it seems like he's turned his life around and he's changed his con man ways. He's got a new name, he's got a new career, and now he's out here helping people not get conned. What a great guy. Until a few years later, in 1999, I guess he gets tired of being a fraud prevention specialist, and he's like, I think I'll go commit some more fraud myself. And he comes up with a whole new scam. He starts cold calling people and claiming he's producing a TV show, like a quiz game show, and that he's looking for investors. And he asks these people to invest in this show, and he says that former pro football player Joe Namath is going to be involved, and that this is going to get such good ratings, and it'll be such a huge hit, and they're all going to be so rich. But unfortunately for these investors, there is no quiz game show, and former pro football player Joe Namath, not involved. And any money these people give Steve doesn't go to produce anything for TV. It goes right into his pocket. And eventually he gets reported for this scam, and bam, he gets arrested again. And this time, he gets convicted and he's no longer legally allowed to use the name Brett Champion. He's also no longer legally allowed to call himself a consumer fraud expert. And he also spends a few more years in prison. Then, soon enough, he's out again on probation, and does he stop his scamming ways and live a good, clean, wholesome life? Absolutely not. He's apparently having way too much fun. And if you can't believe it, bro gets right back on the phone, cold calling people, trying to scam them again, trying to get them to invest in another TV show that doesn't exist. And that is when he meets this old guy over the phone, Arthur. Arthur's 84, he's retired, and he's lonely, making him the perfect target for Steve to con. And so Steve tells Arthur that he's this big-time executive producer for television, and that he's producing this new hot TV show called Trends of the 21st Century, which is a terrible name, by the way, but that he's producing this series and it's going to be a huge hit, and that Arthur should invest. And unfortunately, Arthur believes him, and he does invest. He gives Steve a little money. And over the course of a few months, he gives him more and more money. And eventually, poor Arthur has given him pretty much his life savings. Over $500,000. And now Steve is like, I'm rich, biatch! And he's living a pretty good life on this money. He buys himself a new Corvette. I think this is actually a picture of it here. And then he uses some of this money to pay court-ordered